cool.
Okay, you're good to start whenever you want.
What's up, guys? I'm Sage. I don't show my face much on camera, so it's new. But, beginner any percent, yeah. And with me today, commentating when I get to the more serious parts, is Swiftshadow.
Hey everyone, I'm Swift. I run this game as well. It's a fun run. I hope you all enjoy it.
Alright, and we can start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Headphones suck full.
So yeah, it starts off with a few opening cutscenes that we just skip through pretty easily. Of course, I also hate this game at times. And then nothing much we can do here except run towards this mirror, skip the scene after hitting triangle. Then here we're gonna be going left, then right. And basically it's for magic, because magic is OP as hell in this game. Heck.
Yeah, so that first picture that we pick up, it increases our starting MP, which is good so that we can use more magic. And then the second one that we're hitting is going to give us more magic abilities earlier on in the run.
I've been practicing the cutscene skips a lot. And actually, thanks to Swift, I've actually gotten a lot better at this game. Along with everyone else in the community as well. Everyone figuring stuff out. In this last one, we just want the straightforward story. The right two are easy codes and pro codes, which I don't mess with. Now, right here is our one and only unskippable cutscene in this run. And here... And this is the only dark side we have to face.
Yeah, Darkseid's a very familiar boss from this series. He looks a little bit different in this game compared to how he normally looks. And he's also pretty easy because he is one of the tutorial fights. We kind of just want to keep hitting him over and over again with our basic combo that we have at this point, and just smack him in the face over and over again. He does drop these orbs, which you can see. They can be a little bit of a problem, just trying to avoid them. They can reset your combo, but they're not too hard to deal with, especially on beginner where we don't have to worry about dying.
Oh yeah, that's beginner. We just eat the orbs. Now if it were critical, it'd be a lot different. Then just a bunch more cutscenes to skip through before we even get into the first actual world, which is just a tutorial world to give us some basics, but at the same time we also overdid it. Right here I'm going to attack this shadow and go straight after this large body, and I'm going to start hitting him with some waters, and thanks to Swift, he dies a lot easier now.
Yeah, so one of the big things that we got from that dark side fight that we just finished is we got 2 types of magic. Fire, which is standard throughout KH, and then water, which is new to KH3. Water is actually pretty cool. It has 2 hitboxes on it, so it has a contact hitbox when it starts up, and then a projectile afterwards.
Then I'll be...
And we're going to be using a lot of water in this world.
Then I'm going into my first menu, which Swift can actually explain a lot better than I can.
Yeah, so to start this menu off, Donald has an ether that we're going to be taking. He doesn't use it in the previous fight. And then we're going to be unequipping some unhelpful abilities, like aerial dodge, which are just worse movement abilities, and unequipping some attacks from our party that don't really do much. And Sage is also going to customize fire, water, and the ether.
Then we just got a couple more scenes to skip through, which heads us actually into Thebes. And then it gives us our base tutorial stuff of Moogle Shop and save point. We're actually going to dodge roll into the save point, jump up, hit that wall, flow motion off, and head into the next fight.
So this fight is one of the first of many flame core fights. You can see there's quite a few enemies here. And as you can assume, water is pretty good against flame cores. They end up dying to 2 waters if you get the contact damage on the projectiles. So Sage is going to be moving around here to try and make sure that he is getting both of those hitboxes on every flame core while he can. The flame cores can also DM, where they like turn into fire and they become invulnerable to anything except water, blizzard, and it can be pretty costly, so he's trying to manage that as well. Make sure that they don't DM, which if we use waters on them, it stops them from doing so.
Then after Flame Core 1, we hit a save point after a cutscene skip and go right into Flame Core 2, doing almost the same exact thing.
Yeah, so as Sage mentioned, pretty much just the same thing as Flame Core 1. We just want to get both of those contact hits of the waters in. Hopefully as well, party members will do stuff. You can see Donald throwing some blizzards, which are pretty helpful.
And just about ran out of MP. Ooh. Very touch and go fight right there. So right there, we don't want to run out of MP. What I'm going to do after is flow motion off the wall and do attacks with air slides to keep me going forward. And then we're going to air slide up until we slide down, bounce off a wall, and just keep air sliding until we hit a certain point, and then we're just going to drop. Then we're going to flow motion off the wall, and then repeat the process of flow motioning off the wall.
I hope they got insurance.
If there's anybody else stuck out here,
Touch the
we
save
better
point
find
for a
them
little
fast.
bit of extra MP. Don't want too much because we're getting ready to want to go into MP charge. And one of them did DM, so I'm gonna have to hit it with some waters, and there we go.
Nice.
Now here, depending on how much MP I have, I'm gonna shoot off 2 fires, dodge roll twice, jump up, attack, and then immediately do 2 waters. Which opens this area, which gives us our magic ring before I menu.
Yeah, and so in the menu, we're going to be equipping ethers on all of our items just because that's the only item that we're actually going to want to use. And then we're also equipping that magic ring that we just picked up. It increases our magic by 2, which is pretty useful. as you'll see coming into this next building fight, in the past, flame cores ended up taking 2 waters to kill. Now we can kill them with 2 hits and 1 water.
Exactly. And then a lot of this new movement is still... missed the flow motion off that wall. I'm on a flow motion. We're trying to basically avoid using Goofy's Trinity Sled as much as possible, because it does take up too much time. Now going into the burning building fight, we 1-2 water. And then what I did there was I do a 1-2 combo, water, and what we're trying to do is, and never mind, I just got my butt burned.
So at the very start of the fight, you saw that we skipped some tutorials. That was basically teaching us about situation commands, right? So you can see at the bottom left of the screen as Sage is doing hits, he's filling up these arrows, and those are going to give him commands like Keyblade transformations or Grand Magic, which we want to get into second form and then also get water up. Second form is basically a callback to the previous Sora, and it gives us a 6-hit combo instead of the 4 hits that we have normally, and it also gives us some extra stuff. So like our air finisher becomes Magnet Burst, which is pretty useful, especially in this fight where we can stay in the air and then Magnet Burst to gather up a bunch of enemies together, as you'll see Sage doing.
I messed that fight up pretty bad. Oh well. Now what we tried to do there is we tried to get ours, which unfortunately I failed to do. But that's fine, we don't necessarily need it. Now what I'm going to do here against this rock troll is I'm going to immediately... go into some water combos here. Unfortunately, it didn't do the amount of damage I wanted it to.
So one of the big things in this fight, as you saw at the start, is we got access to attraction flows, which are things that we're going to be seeing quite a bit throughout the run, especially in early game, where we don't really have many other tools. But they make these big attractions based on like Disney World rides. So we had a pirate ship here. We'll see a few later as well, of a bunch of different types. And when used well, they can do quite a bit of damage. As you can see, it took out like a full health bar on this rock troll.
I'm going to be stopping by this Moogle because it gives us an extra ether. And then we're going to be heading up the mountain next. And there's a lot of different movement tech that we've learned that moves a lot faster than what we were previously doing.
We need to get to the top of the mountain and stop Hades.
Of course, sometimes it's better to get second form off of Rock Troll for this area here.
The river's flooded.
But we've... Oh no. Oh, fudge.
I wanna apologize for a second. I have an issue with the overlay. Don't worry about anything. People will be able to see it. I'm just gonna fix it. So if anybody sees something happening on screen, I'm just fixing an issue. Don't worry about it. You saw nothing.
So basically this next area where we're going up the mountain, normally we have to go down and fight water cores right where we're headed, but we found a way around it. So what I was doing earlier with the air slide attack is what we're using for movement here, because it's going to get us through without having to fight these water cores. Then it's just move up the mountain as fast as possible. Now I'm going to do a quick menu to change Magic Ring to Water Cufflink. I'm going to give Donald Magic Ring. I'm also going to give Sora MP Haste and Treasure Magnet, Donald MP Haste and Fire Boost, and Goofy Lucky Strike before we head up to this next part, which is Rock Titan.
So about Water Cufflink gives us a few abilities as well that are pretty powerful. So Water Cufflink gives us Water Boost, which is going to increase the damage of our waters by 20%. And then it also gives us access to the Grand Magic Waterza. So basically, the way that Grand Magic normally works is when you get a Grand Magic, it's one tier up of magic. So Water would give you Watera. The Water Cufflink basically lets us bypass that, and it gets us the highest tier of Grand Magic as early as we possibly can.
Now, I try not to frame one right there on that cutscene because it can send you back down the mountain if you're not careful. Then I'm gonna slow motion off this wall to get into this fight a little bit faster. Then on Rock Titan, I'm going to start with trying to get as close to his foot as I can while I perform some waters. And I did not mean to go into second form there, and you'll understand why here in a minute. Now, Mountain Coaster, after we hit him at a certain health threshold, it just one-shots him.
Yeah, Mountain Coaster hits like crazy. And this is one of the few times that we actually get to use it in the run.
It's one of the only two times we get to use it. Which the developers were smart for doing, because if not, it's so OP that we'd probably abuse it for everything where it's worth. Now, unfortunately, I did not. I accidentally went into second form too soon. So,
yeah, so if
I'm
we
gonna
have
to use the other strat.
Yeah, if you have second form at the very end of that fight, you can do pretty precise movement. It's actually really hard to carry second form all the way into this next fight, but it makes the opening a little bit nicer. It's definitely not necessary, though.
As I'm about to show. So after skipping this cutscene, I immediately hold L1, go back, lock on, and I start taking these waters and firing them just as quick as I can.
Water, as it's coming out and you have that contact on it, it gives us iframes as well, which is really, really nice. It lets us just get away with doing some more waters than we normally would be able to, where we get hit out of them. And as you can see, the waters here, while all these satyrs are grouped up, it ends up completely shredding their armor as well. Water just becomes a really, really good tool, especially after we've gotten Water Cufflink. And we get that larger AoE on the Waterza.
I'm going to be doing some pretty precise movement to go ahead and get up into the next area. I don't know why Goofy jumped off the ledge there.
Party does weird stuff sometimes.
They really do. Like, sometimes in the opening fight of this world, they will not be of any help whatsoever.
Yeah. At these early parts of the run, we tend to rely on, well, I guess maybe not rely on, but the party becomes a lot more useful when we're more limited with our options. What they do actually makes quite a bit more noticeable of a difference than what they do later on in the run. So it's nice when we see them actually do what we want them to. We've also gained access to air stepping here, which is this movement ability that you've seen Sage use to get up here. In previous Kingdom Hearts games, you had access to Shot Walk, which is this big projectile volley that we can do, which you'll see going into this fight. But now they've expanded that and given you movement options as well, where you can zip to a target that you can see.
So opening this fight, I'm going to do a 24 shot lock into water, which is going to get me up, and then I need to go ahead and start watering.
So the Lava Titan in this fight can be a little bit of a pain. The goal is to knock him back as much as you can, because when he goes bright red, he ends up being invulnerable, and he'll just avoid all of your damage, and he can be really annoying.
He goes into this invulnerable state that's really just... It makes the fight a lot harder than it needs to be.
Yep.
Not what I meant to do, but that's fine.
You won't stop a true hero!
Take this! Yeah!
Oh, nice use of Herc. Hey.
Well, I had to get good at something. And Olympus really isn't all that important to the run unless you know how good you can be at it.
So we're almost out of Olympus now. We have one last boss fight, which is this Tornado Titan. And basically, he's going to be shooting buildings at us that we can guard and deflect back at him. And then later on in the fight, normally he'll end up sucking us up, and then we have to dive down to him and beat him up before he starts teleporting away.
And he went into second phase a little early. I didn't get a good damage on him, so now it's just playing by ear. And he shoots up after you've defeated the lava and ice titans. He starts shooting up pieces of building, ice, fire, whatever he can.
We're able to close distance to the Tornado Titan pretty well by hitting and then air sliding. It's very nice. And then we're basically just going to be hugging the Tornado Titan and doing waters for the rest of the fight up until he gives us the Blaster Blades attraction, which we're going to end up using to finish him off.
Oh no.
According to Wikipedia, Destiny is an online...
I was so unlucky. Oh no.
I think I was just a little bit too far away from him, but we still end up getting him, so it's not that big a deal.
It all still works out.
Now after this, we end up getting Hero's Origin, which is a good Keyblade for the upcoming Twilight Town, because it gives us Counter Shield. And y'all get to see what Counter Shield can do once I'm able to use it.
Counter Shield is very nice for the time that we get to use it.
Now this next part, I'm going to be playing as Riku, and we're going to open up with a shield into Thundaga, because why not? Ooh, 3.
Hey.
Oh no, I messed up.
Sorry. You're done.
But that's fine. It wasn't a very bad mess up, but basically we tried to go ahead and get Thundazan Double Duel, which basically allows us to eat away at the Demon Tower's health. And eat away quickly. What I messed up to do was I forgot to throw the Ether before continuing to Thundaga. After getting out of that, we start going into our gummy missions.
The gummy missions this time around are actually pretty interesting. It's more of like an open world flight area as opposed to the more strict linear paths that they were in other games or auto-scrollers like in KH2. So the pathing that we actually take here does matter. We're picking up a waypoint here that we're going to be using in order to get to Kingdom of Corona, the world that we will be going to after Toy Box, a little bit faster. We can also break some of these asteroids, but we're hoping to see our fluorites here. Fluorites are a Keyblade upgrade material that we're going to be getting a few of in Twilight Town and then one in Toy Box later, but if we get one here, then we can skip the one in Toy Box, which is pretty nice. We can also get a lot of money here, and the money adds up quite a bit. We get a lot of money throughout the run, and money gets used on a few things like food and ethers. It's very important.
Oh yeah, I have a bad tendency to just pick up as much money as possible.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
We do.
Okay, we got $18 from Blazing Beza. Apologies for my headset. Here's $18 for the 9 DMs I couldn't stop. Good luck for all the runners tonight and tomorrow. Thank you, Blazing Beza, for the 18 bucks. And don't worry about it, mate. It's all good.
It happens, Blazin'. But now we're in Twilight Town, and Twilight Town's actually one of my more favorite worlds because of how simple it is. It's showing us how to use Meow Wow, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up by using some waters and trying to get Waterza to make this as easy as possible for myself, which gives me Pirate Ship. I'm going to switch over to the Olympus Keyblade we just got. And I'm going to use one of the better movements we have in this, which is to go ahead and get Counter Shield, which we'll be using in a moment, and then switch right into Pirate Ship, so I can just eliminate these guys as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing a lot of attraction flows throughout this world. They're very useful for dealing with these larger mob fights, where we can just group them all together and just decimate them with the big attractions.
Unfortunately, it didn't kill, which is a problem. And Goofy saved it, though.
Hey, nice Goofy.
And now we're going into another Demon Tower, which I'm going to open up with just normal combos, along with a few waters to try and get waters. Switch back over to counter shield, which I'm going to guard, and then Wrathful Fury into second form, which honestly, once this comes down, we're good to go.
Yeah, by going into second form after the Wrathful Fury, we're actually able to keep those punches and use them immediately again, which is very useful in terms of damage. We don't have to do those extra 2 guards.
And it just makes this fight so much easier. I can say that because I did play casually before I started picking up the run. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop back, hit this save point, and try to beat this train. If not, I'll just jump over it. I'll jump over it. Normally, counter shield's gone by now. And I would normally flow motion off the walls here, but I found out dodge rolling is a lot faster for me because I can't always pull off the swag movement heading towards this area. Now up here, just as we come out of the sewer, I switch back into second form and air slide forward. And now we're in another fight with a bunch of monkeys. And I'm gonna use my shot lock on them. This is the part of the run where shot lock gets abused. Well, I wouldn't say it gets abused yet. It does get abused. But I'm also going to dodge roll forward, switch back. And Magnet Splash is really actually super helpful here.
They're not making it easy for us.
Unfortunately, Splash Run did not come up. Oh, never mind, now it's here.
Oh, hey.
Sometimes it likes to spawn in late, so it can be an issue. And swag finish.
Oh, awesome.
So basically, we were just helping out Remy from Ratatouille.
Next stop, the mansion.
We're gonna stop, pick up an ether, and then we're gonna go ahead and start heading towards this chest, which is a fluorite. We're gonna air step to a tree branch, and then we're gonna
I see it. That building up ahead.
head up towards the old mansion from KH2. I'm gonna stop by the save point, get my MP back, and then we're gonna go ahead and head into the mansion. And hopefully I still have enough second form to do what I need to do here. If not, I can get it back pretty quick, but I'd rather not have to.
Yeah, it looked like you had enough, I think.
I'm gonna dodge roll forward and start throwing waters. Oh, it went the wrong way. Oh no.
Yeah, one of the unfortunate things about Nobody's and the Neo Shadows as well here is they end up slipping out quite a bit, and then also this game's targeting system is not the best. You can end up targeting onto things that are very, very far away from you, or things that you had wanted to target, and then like you'll run away and try and get off them, and the game will just keep you locked on. It's a bit rough.
Oh, I pulled the backup off. Normally what we like to do is save the magic teacups until the second wave of Heartless and Nobodies spawn in. Unfortunately, I had to use it a little bit early because I was so low on magic.
And now we're just making our way back through the sewers, all the way back to Twilight Town. And we get to go through one of the cool movement sections early in the run, where we get to do this ingredient collection. We have to pick up a bunch of ingredients, and the route for it's pretty interesting. We get through it pretty quickly.
So I normally will just run behind me without looking or changing the camera. But
The chef needs more ingredients. We better keep
we'll also
an
be
eye
picking
out.
up our second fluorite here during this ingredient collection, because why not? And then after we collect 9 of these ingredients,
Just imagine the yummy stuff
this section
little chef will
ends.
whip up with this.
oh lord, Fritz with the comment, you might say you beat this game swiftly.
Wonderful.
And now I'm going to change Hero's Origin to Shooting Star and swap over to it before I leave this world. Because it's going to come in handy in Twilight Town. Or Twilight Town, Toy Box.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Hero's Origin's a really cool Keyblade, but this is the only world that we get to see it in. We immediately get a better option. As we said earlier, we're going to be using a lot of magic in this run, and Shooting Star has a way better magic stat than Hero's Origin does.
And if there are any donations, now would be a good time to read them.
Nope, but our poll finished up, and it looks like we have a lot of Kyrie fans in the chat.
Ooh.
We had 4 votes for Kyrie, 2 votes for Riku, and, hold on, let me just see if anybody didn't do any last-minute votes.
Well, I mean, Riku's
yep,
actually
4.
my favorite, so I can't really
Yeah,
say anything.
We got 4 votes for Kyrie, 2 votes for Riku, and 1 vote for Sora, which was me.
Why am I not
Got a
surprised?
lot of Kyrie.
So what I'm doing here is I'm picking up a faster ship really quick. But unfortunately, we're not switching to it right now. And since we did not get a fluorite right there, I'm gonna have to pick the one up in Andy's room. We're also coming up to a neat skip called the Gummy Skip.
Yeah, this is one of the coolest, but also can be one of the most frustrating skips in the run. One of the most cool things that we get to do.
And I missed the first one.
So basically the way that this works is there is a frame-perfect window where you can input either a U-turn or a camera here, and it'll break you out of the fight.
Now,
And every time that you miss it, you have to abandon and go back in.
unfortunately, where I'm on PS5, I don't have access to an accessibility menu like you would on PS4. The accessibility menu is a lot harder to get to on PS5. There we go, finally got the U-turn.
Hey.
But, so you end up having to learn how to use the U-turn and camera and get it right as much as possible.
Yeah, what a lot of people on PS4 do is we rebind the U-turn to the triangle button, so then we can use the touchpad and triangle and like alternate between the two, which makes it a little bit easier. But it's a frame-perfect trip running at 30 FPS in the gummy ship.
On PS5, it's actually running at, I want to say, a little bit higher.
Oh, I didn't know.
Now, unfortunately, I was trying to get... There it is. I needed to get the, double the arrow guns. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna...
Take this.
Wasn't actually attempting to get second form, but second form can help right there, and that's just a little swag finish for you guys.
Hey.
Now I'm going to go in here to the Moogle. I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 chocolate mousse, 8 tents, and 9 ethers. Then we go into the workshop, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the shooting star once. I need to make sure that I don't forget the fluorite under Andy's bed, because I have done that in the past and it has ruined runs for me. Then we're going to go out of Andy's window, shot lock, into air step, into just trying to get as far along as possible. We're going to use Blizzard to make our movement a little bit faster as we go down the street. I'm just glad I didn't forget that fluorite, like I have 100 times.
It's good you had it in mind.
Now here is the fun part. I like being in the mix.
So throughout Toy Box, we have these big mechs. They're Gigas. There's 3 different types: blue, red, and purple. We're in a blue one right now. Each different one has a different triangle ability, and they also have different statistics. So like the red one's good at punching things. The blue one's kind of all around. The purple one has a faster firing speed, and it has these big cannons. But Sage is going to be using these exploders. They shoot from the right side and then the left side, 2 different shots. And if you line it up properly, you can get double hits on things. It's pretty nice.
They have not killed any of these guys hardly.
So ideally, we'd have our party members kill the soldiers that are on the ground. What happens a lot of the time is the party kind of just does nothing and walks around.
And watches you as you play in the mech.
Gosh, I'm kind of worried about our new friends.
As I said, we use Blizzard for a lot of movement now. Well, I do. And what I just did was locked onto one of those poles and bounced off to get me into this next fight a little bit faster. And here I'm going to be doing 1 punch, 2 punch. Then I'm going to go ahead and tackle. I try to line up 2 of them at least before I do anything, because 2 punches and a tackle kills them almost instantly. Well, what am I saying? It does kill them instantly.
Also worth noting before we got into this fight, the chest that we picked up was the fire cufflink. It's basically like the water cufflink, but for fire. We get fire boost and Firaza from it.
Oh no, I did that wrong.
So the big reason that we wanted to get double arrow guns earlier on is form changes of different movement abilities. Double arrow guns has double flight, which is our double jump, and it lets us do some cool movement here that makes getting through these vents and avoiding the fan cycles that they have a little bit easier and a bit faster. We're also picking up a refocuser here, which is like an ether but for your focus, which you use for your shot walk, so that'll refill some of our focus, which gets used on the boss of this world, which we'll be seeing a little bit later on.
And now we're heading into, well, one of my least favorite fights.
So Sage here picked up the gold amulet. It's an accessory that we're going to be putting on Donald basically for the rest of the run. It turns all of the money drops from 1 money to 5 money, which is going to increase the amount of money that we're getting for the entire rest of the run. And the good thing is we don't have to have it on Sora. As long as it's on a party member, we're getting that.
Exactly. And on top of that, like I said, we do a lot of Blizzard movement through this world. now I'm going to go ahead and equip that fire cufflink. I'm going to go ahead and equip the gold amulet to Donald and change out the magic ring for the water cufflink on Donald. I'm also going to be giving Sora fire boost, taking off damage control, adding on aerial recovery and unison fire. I'm also going to be eating that chocolate mousse because it also increases our magic. And it increases our magic's damage stat.
Chocolate mousse must be pretty tasty.
Oh, it
It
is.
sounds really good. So this boss is Angelic Amber. She's a big doll. And the goal here is we're basically going to be using a bunch of fires, because now we have fire cufflinks, so we get Firaza. We have fire boost on Sora, and the fire cufflink also has a fire boost, so we're getting that double fire boost. The one bad thing about Angelic Amber is with the way that her model is made, her like head and her hands can eat fires if they hit the wrong way. So getting everything to connect the way that we want to can be a little bit of a pain. Sage also went into double arrow guns here. That's going to be used in the next fight. It's actually very, very important that we do get that.
Extremely. And I let it run for too long, so I risked losing it, which I do not like doing. Because this next fight is way too tough without double arrow guns. Now going into this next fight, I'm going to immediately switch over to the double arrow guns and start firing on the UFO.
So the UFO's health bar is actually hit-based instead of damage-based, which makes double arrow guns very good here, because we can just shoot out a bunch of fast shots and do a ton of damage here.
And luckily, I didn't get bullied as hard as I thought I was going to, so I was able to hold on to double arrow guns.
Yeah, you did a great job of holding on to that. That mech punching you got me a little worried.
Oh, it worried me.
You handled it very well.
But now we're going to be going up to Virum Rex. We're actually just going to be air stepping
Rex
up.
was in the video game section.
And then, same thing I did with the dinosaurs. I'm going to bounce off the wall for flow motion to get into the Virum Rex area faster. Now, Virum Rex is not my strong suit, but I'm going to do the best I can with it.
It's very hard. So Virum Rex takes place in 3 different phases here. So this first one is we need to kill a total of 25 mechs in order to spawn in the second phase, which will be 6 prime mechs that we have to kill, and then the last phase will be a gold mech that we have to kill.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use a backup that I had to make up on the fly. Unfortunately. Because if not, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Because unfortunately, which one lived? Which one lived? One of them lived.
Oh, I think it was the one up top.
Oh, it was. So, this is my issue with this, is I have to deal with that on top of try and go ahead and not let myself fall off from up here. And I hate that one so much that I'm just gonna fly up here. Now, the gold mech is the one that's the most painful to deal with. Oh, 153. That's not good. So what we just got there before we head out of this world is Ralph. And Ralph comes in handy in Corona. Comes in
Ralph is
way
a really
handy.
good Link.
He is a very OP Link. I can attest to that because... And now I'm going to go ahead and put on high jump. And with Sora, I'm going to go ahead, put the magic ring on him. And then we're going to try go ahead and get out of here. Because we already ate our chocolate mousse. So leaving this world, we're going to be heading into Corona.
Yeah, so we haven't actually finished Toy Box yet, but it is faster for us to leave the world, go to Corona, and then come back and do the ending section of Toy Box. Because when we come back, we'll have a lot of extra tools that we're going to get from Corona, and we'll also be at a higher level.
And one of those tools is actually very, very useful. As Swift and I can attest to.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows, maybe during this marathon I'll actually get the one shot. Back in Toy Box.
That'll be pretty sweet if you do.
I think I've only gotten that twice. So what we did is we switched over to the Moogle ship because it is much faster than our base Gummy ship. But we're not going to be seeing it for very long. At least, in my opinion, very long. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move forward a little bit and summon Meow Wow and just hit the finisher. Because that's going to kill everything right here. I'm then going to move over to the side and try to only do 15 or 16 on the shot lock, which will kill those guys. And then I go straight into another Meow Wow, and that should be the end of the opening fight. And what I do that some people don't like, I go ahead and I switch water for Blizzard and go ahead and equip Thunder. And then I'll go ahead and equip Arrow as well. That way this is one less menu I have to do later on.
Where are you?
And instead of rolling all the way to where I'm almost at that cave, I'll dodge to the right of that tree, which will just put us right into the next cutscenes. And then I just try to air step the rest of the way. Now we're coming up to a fight that we all like to call Chief Puff.
What will Mother think?
And Chief Puff's pretty easy.
I will.
Now in Chief Puff, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get double arrow guns, which I just succeeded in doing.
Twice. So in this fight, there's two different types of enemies. There are the Puffs, which are the little guys, and there's also the Chief Puffs, which are the bigger ones that have that dandelion armor on them. The first fight in Corona gave us Arrow, which Sage is using here, and it immediately clears that armor, which is really nice. It makes this fight go quite a bit faster than it otherwise would, and it also is just good for grouping
Moana
up
is
the
a
little puffs
2016
as well.
movie directed by Ron Clements, starring Dwayne Johnson, Ali Carvalho, and Jermaine Clement.
And this is why I don't like my auto lock on, because it'll still target the ones that are in the air, which I really don't want to happen. But it did just give me Fyraza, so I'm not complaining.
Hey.
And then
Storm! Down they go! Now's our chance!
unfortunately, I let myself run out of ethers here. I'm not supposed to be using that many ethers, but it does happen from time to time with me.
That was a really well-placed Aurora to take them both out, though.
Oh yeah, that's... A lot of the times your auto lock on will not let you place that Aurora in the middle. And I
Dandelions!
try to make sure I get that Aurora off before it changes anything.
Look!
Now I'm going to stop by, I'm going to hit this save point. I thought I was still out of magic. My bad.
Rapunzel's calling you!
Do we have to go? Look at all this water!
There's just a lot of movement tech in this. Like, that wasn't supposed to happen. I was supposed to bounce off that rock to that. Now, coming up in the next spot, I'm going to be trying to get Magic Launcher. And this is where we're going to find our first Reapers. Now, the Reapers, a lot of the time, they cannot be harmed by anything but magic.
Of course there had to be nobodies.
George, we've never seen this kind before.
Right it!
And then I'm going to start 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Well, since that's not working, I'm going to switch it up. So I'm going to try to hold on to that magic launcher for as long as possible because it's going to help us with our next set of movement. Well, not our very
I
next,
really don't
but...
like what that guy said.
Yeah, we better find Rapunzel before he does.
Yeah, having that magic launcher is going to be extremely useful for later.
And then we're going to come to here, and then we're going to go ahead and Blizzard. I didn't aim it right, so that's not good. But it doesn't matter, because I know how to bounce off the walls.
Hey.
I'm going to stop by this save point, get my health and MP back.
We've got company. I think I see something.
Now, there are certain times where Sora will stop, like he doesn't want to do something. And I've noticed this whenever I play. And it looks like he's trying to squat down a lot of the time.
They can climb walls?
Yeah, it's way more cheerful out here.
Uh-huh. Now where's Rapunzel?
We're going to be picking up our first Damascus here. One of the only 2 we're supposed to get. Unfortunately, I'm lame and I get 3.
So those Damascus are also Keyblade upgrade material. So we used Fluorites before. Once you hit a certain point, then it requires Damascus. After that, Adamantite, and then later Electrum. But we're only going to be seeing Floriat and Damascus in this run.
Then I'm going to be doing the same movement I did back in Olympus.
This way, Sora.
And sometimes Rapunzel just likes to steal your camera.
Come on, let's swing across and look for a path.
And the reason I held on to Magic Launcher as long as I have
It's over.
is this. Oh no. And then we're gonna go ahead and splash run with the hope that it will kill on impact, which it did, which was perfect.
Nice.
Now, Chaos Carriage is a different story. Chaos Carriage likes to just,
What is it with me and horses?
well, be chaotic, as it says in his name. And I'm going to be using what we call the Ralph strat on him. Which should kill him. I'm going to go ahead and throw an Aether and get ready with Ralph again. Sometimes my magic just does not come back when I need it to. There we go.
Yeah, so the way that Ralph works is basically Ralph gives you a bunch of blocks at random. They face different directions and they're different sizes, and you want to place them so that they are in the light of another block, and that chains the explosions. Basically, the lights show you where the blocks are going to explode in.
Now, a lot of the time, some of the newer strats for Ralph, I don't pay attention to them because I do stuff like that, where I'm able to line it up almost perfectly, and yeah. Now, we just got Super Jump, and I'm also going to equip Counter Slash, and probably Combo Plus.
So Super Jump is another ability that increases what we can do with our movement in flow motion. Basically, instead of just being able to super slide off walls when we wall kick into them, now we can do a jump off them as well, which lets us reach higher places, like that Mage's Earring chest that we just picked up.
Wait.
And Mage's Earring is important. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, Mage's Earring is a magic accessory that gives us 3 magic, and it also has an ability, Magic Treasure Magnet, which makes it so that when you kill enemies with magic, all of their drops immediately come to you. And a good thing about that is links like Meow Wow, where we do the finisher, count as using magic. So every time that we're using Meow Wow finisher with that on, we get all of the MP orbs from the enemies that we kill.
And then we just missed an exciting bit of movement. But that's movement that I've probably taken hours to practice. Now, unlike them, I don't immediately just go ahead and go to this next little area. I pick up a little bit of money because I know how bad I am with ethers. And I'll pick up 11 more since I was at 0. Then I'll go ahead and pick up the ether that's right there.
Wow, sure is a busy place.
There's just a lot of movement in this. That's actually really good.
I bet you there's a lucky him.
And now we're into, this is so fun!
The best minigame in KH3. It's actually
The
pretty
only
wonderful.
mini game that doesn't involve like lining stuff up.
This is so fun.
And there it is. This is so fun. Oh no, Rye, it's not Finny fun, it's this is so fun.
Keep dancing.
So this is the dance minigame. There's actually a route for this that we're doing here. It's not just like playing the minigame at random. There is a certain path that we want to take to hit certain people that we're dancing with in order to get the exact amount of points that we need on this bar in order to progress through to the next section.
Oh no, I'm just freestyling it. So I like to hit 3 or 4 people sometimes before I do that.
Here's the definition of opinion. A view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge.
Never mind, I ended up at the same barrel several times. I think I still hit the route without trying to.
Keep dancing. This is so fun.
So basically we're trying to get the barrel spins because they fill up that little meter up top
Keep
a
dancing.
lot faster. And this is where we'll get our first magic boost. We actually end up, by the end of it, picking up 5 or 6 in total.
So we have a return of those Reapers that we saw earlier. Again, they can be pretty annoying, just iframing things that aren't fire. And they also move around a lot, which makes fires miss a little bit more than they do on other enemies.
Well, that was a nice pairing for those two in the corner. So it's very specific strats throughout this run that actually make the run what it is. And Swift knows the run a lot better than I do, which is actually one of the main reasons I asked him to come on and commentate for me, because a lot of the time I get very, very quiet, which can be very, very awkward.
But I'm glad I can be here to help out. It's been fun so far.
Oh yeah. And actually, if you guys didn't know this, Swift is the one who's pushed me to get as good as I am.
I'm glad I could help.
Enough already. Get
Yeah, I'd help commentate, but sadly I barely know anything of KH3 speedrunning.
Oh, it's alright. You'll get there one day.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a run of KH3 eventually.
Let's go. More KH3 runners.
And actually, there is a lot of movement that I'm doing here that we use a lot of air steps to get to this next part, because this next part can be a pain or it can be a blessing in disguise. I've actually had this ruin a run for me. Why did I go into Blaster Blazer? That's not what I wanted. I wanted my air step. Well, thank you, Chaos Carriage of Single Descent. You hit me the direction I want it to go. So right here, I'm going to use Meow Wow again. I'm going to use his Tornado Pounce into his finisher because it kills everything in that little mob fight just before the boss. And what I'm going to do just before the boss is I'm going to hit this save point
I know.
And then we're gonna wreck it.
Yeah.
And hope that it works.
What happened up there?
I may have hit that a little bit on the late side, but that's perfectly fine.
Crush him. Nice.
Oh, I saved it from Grim Guardianess DMing.
Good recovery.
So, when in doubt, fire it out. Is one of my favorite sayings while playing this. Now, you'd think we're done with Corona and that we're going to go straight into Toy Box 2. No. We actually have to go back into Corona to pick up another magic boost. One that we weren't able to get on our first way through it because of the minigame.
Also, it's good to note, KH3 as the run, we use the in-game timer as our timing method, which helps remove these loading screens. And that's one of the reasons why picking up this magic boost is worthwhile, because we don't have these loading times of re-entering the world actually factoring into our timing method.
So I'm gonna pick up the second magic boost through those kids, because Sora basically is a dirtbag through the entire world, as far as we know. Then we're gonna go into the workshop, make sure we collected all the materials we need. Then we're gonna go ahead and upgrade the Ever After, which is actually one of the last few Keyblades that we ever upgrade. One of the only Keyblades we ever upgrade. Right, I've got to equip it now. And then we're going to switch Fire Cufflink for Rune Ring and Magic Ring for Mage's Earring. Then we're going to go ahead and head back on over to Toy Box. And because we are already at Toy Box, we do not have to deal with trying to gummy skip back through it.
So now that we're through Corona, the reasons that we did want to leave the world early are we wanted to get those extra magic boosts and the accessories, the Rune Ring and the Mage's Earring. And then the main thing as well is we want to get Ever After. Ever After has an incredibly powerful shot walk, which we're going to be seeing on the boss of this world. And it also just becomes our main Keyblade for the rest of the run because it has an incredibly high magic stat, especially since we've just upgraded it 4 times as well.
Now, before I go in here, I'm going to cure, and then I'm going to air dash. And we're back to playing with mechs again, which is actually one of the better things about this world is the mechs. If it wasn't for the fact that we could get a mech like the Heartless do, then we probably would be pretty bad off.
Oh, I don't even want to think about doing this world without a mech. That'd be awful.
And what I'm doing is I try to make it to where they're near their friends so they can't really escape. Now I still have to go in and equip the refocuser and use those 2 magic boosts on myself before this next part. I'm also going to check my food just in case.
Hey, there's some over there.
Mechless percent. That sounds horrible.
It really does.
Also, we had I ran a poll for what worlds that the chat wanted for KH3. We had 4 for Lilo and Stitch, 3 for Treasure Planet, 1 for Star Wars, 0 for Moana, and a Final Fantasy world. So we got Lilo and Stitch as the winner of that poll.
Ooh.
Honestly, I'm surprised.
Oh, I got the one shot.
No way.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I got the one shot in this.
How do you get this so many times?
I've only gotten it 3 times. Every other time I try to get it, I don't get it. But when I don't try to get it, I get it.
That's crazy.
It's one of the things that makes this actually go a lot faster, is being able to one-shot right there. Now, here we're about to do something that I despise. Which is, we eject out of this mech a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot.
Yeah, so with the triangle commands, when you leave the mech and re-enter it, it completely resets that cooldown. So by jumping out and going back in, we just instantly refresh those cannons.
And when you get tired of jumping out of the mech, you just start shooting. Don't make us start shoosting. And now that I've done that, I can go ahead and... This mech is not good for its booster, but what it is good for is it helps us get up here a lot quicker. Make sure I've got it equipped. I do. Perfect.
And now we're going into King of Toys, which is the final boss of Toy Box. This is one of the big reasons why we did want to go to Corona, is to get Ever After. We're going to be using our Ever After shot block quite a bit here.
We use it a total of 3 times during this. Oh no, I messed up. I pulled it back though.
Adaptation's good.
But normally what we try to do there is we try to get off 2 full shot locks, followed by Thunder, followed by another shot lock, which just instantly kills the King of Toys. Also, can I say, laziest name for a boss ever. No, the boss I'm scared of hasn't even come up yet.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because it's hit or miss RNG with him. And that takes care of our first set of worlds.
Hey, a new zone! You guys should check it out!
Now here is the last time we'll see the Moogle ship. And you think, you know, we're going to take it to one of the 2 worlds that are available. Nope.
So we're taking quite a detour here. We're going towards another constellation, like the one that we took a picture of for the Moogle ship. We're doing that again, but with Endymion this time. And the reason for that is Endymion's the fastest ship that we can get access to in the entire run at this point. And taking this detour to go pick it up now, just so that we have it for the rest of the worlds, is actually faster than going to the worlds in our Moogle ship, which is pretty crazy. Endymion's just a very, very good ship to have.
And we need it to get that waypoint anyway.
Yep.
Because that waypoint will let us access what we want after we get through one of the worlds. And if you've seen my streams, you know what I'm talking about, so shh. Oh no. I hit a coral in space.
Let's see.
Now we're gonna go ahead and get this, but we're gonna go right back to the world map so we can just equip it for what we need it for. This way. Normally I'd boost right there, but I'm a little bit afraid of it.
Play it safe, yeah.
Now, what I do different from the other runners is they'll go ahead and they'll cut out right here. No, I want this money. Because I go through this stuff faster than you guys think. I go through ethers a lot quicker than people give me credit for. Oh, that's one failed attempt.
So again, we're doing the gummy skip again that we did entering Toy Box.
Now, we only use the gummy skip on 2 of these worlds because on the 3rd one that we can do it on, it's not worth it.
Yeah, for the last boss, we can break out of the fight, but we can't actually get out of the room that the fight is in. So you end up just getting stuck in there. So we have to do that fight the legitimate way.
Oh yeah, I get it on the 2nd try more often than not. Now, for this opening mob fight, I open up with a shot lock on the giant purple turtle. At least that's what I call it. Immediately go into Meow and Meow. I think 1 or 2 survive. In which case, I'm just gonna go ahead and yoink its health.
I'll feel much better when Boo's back in her own broom.
Good thing the last floor's not too far.
Yeah, come on, fella.
Go ahead and buy that Kupo coin, buy 2 ethers, and we're good to go.
So the Koopa coin's an item that revives us if we die. It's not very necessary on beginner, but what it does let us do is it lets us play a few fights a bit riskier, which ends up being pretty fast.
Ends up paying off for us a lot in the end.
Yep.
This. Oh, never mind. Now, before we go in further, this is where we end up using our first first tent. Because we try to save on the ethers as much as possible, but sometimes it's hard to save those ethers. Now here, we're doing a rail slide, which lets us move a lot faster on this. And... well, that's about it. We rail slide on this. We try to take out enemies when we can. And we have to dodge that thunder, otherwise... Now this next fight, we immediately summon Meow Wow and finish it. And then do it again.
We're gonna be seeing a lot of Meow Wow.
This is Meow Wow's world. And Meow Wow consistently kills everything. He's really... Meow Wow is good for crowd control.
Hey, what are we doing? Whoa, am I dizzy?
And Boo is always so cute whenever she laughs.
I love Monsters, Inc. Such a good movie.
Monstrop is probably one of my favorite worlds. For me in this game, it'd have to go to Monstrop, then to San Fran. Even though we don't do a lot in San Fran, but San Fran's still one of my favorite worlds.
San Fran in the run is really cool as well. We get to do a lot of cool movement.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of movement that in San Fran. I still have a lot of work to do, but it's still one of those ones that it's good to know. There's actually just a lot of cool movement in this game. And it makes it worth speedrunning, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think KH3 is some of the coolest movement in the entire series. The flow motion that we get access to is pretty great. It's not as like overpowered as it was in DDD, which I think makes it more interesting as well. Because you have to mix it in with a bunch of other options that you have.
Exactly. DDD, they went way over the top with it, where you were just basically zooming around the world. And what's neat is, right there, dodge roll gives us iframes. Now here I'm going to go back, jump, super glide, and then we're going to do the same movement we did back in Olympus.
Oh, I see a machine up there in the cage past the stairs.
Well, that was just a warm-up. The real fun's just starting.
Now before I get on this elevator, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go pick up this rosette. Then I'm going to hit the elevator and go on up. And try to skip the scene as best as possible. And you know, I don't think we're done with Meow Wow quite yet.
Nope, I think we still got quite a bit more Meow Wow to see.
So immediately coming into this electric fence fight, oh no. I did it again.
Oh.
I Ralph instead. Somehow that paid off. And we'll just go ahead and finish that with Meow Wow. Don't know how I did that, but okay.
Powerful improv. Okay.
I mean, I did it once before, and that was actually in...
upstairs.
Well, we'll get to that.
Guess what, losers? I decided to ramp things up a little. Let's go on the real whopper. Alright, I'll give you that.
My focus gauge is at max, so I don't need to use a tent here. So I am good to go. Now I'm going to immediately jump in this next fight and do a 28 shot lock. Which I will immediately follow up by Ralph, or by Meow Wow. Why do I keep saying Ralph? Then I'm going to immediately Meow Wow again. Never mind, I was wrong. Okay, now I'm gonna Meow Wow again. Oh no, I messed up. Okay, improv time.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna Meow Wow one last time, hopefully. Oh no. The improv is strong with me today. The best way I can put that. So this next part's just gonna be a lot of movement. We're gonna pick up the next rosette. It gives us the laughter pin, but we don't really ever use it. Oh, I appreciate it, Fritz. Now we're gonna do some blizzard movement again.
Yeah, as we'll see coming up, Monstropolis is on fire at this point. So we're going to be seeing some of the enemies that we saw earlier in the run, those flame cores, they're going to be coming back.
Which means I'm going to switch over to where I have water. And speaking of things to do before I forget, I need to equip that third ether back on.
I know, Mikey, but right now we just have to keep moving.
Which I keep forgetting to do for some odd reason. Now, like the opening fight, 28 shot lock and then into Meow Wow. Hopefully Meow Wow kills all of the
Sora, we're gonna need water.
unburst that went under. And then I'm gonna start just watering these guys. After that, we're moving on. We have 2 of these firefights that we actually have to do. I did not mean to grab those. I meant to grab the refocuser. There's always a lot of cool movement in this world.
Unidentified life form spotted.
I wouldn't say it's ice cold, but I also wouldn't say it's not. Because, as you can see, this world is on fire, basically.
Yep.
The door vault is this.
We can drop down from here.
Then we're going to stop by this save point, make sure we're maxed out on stuff. And we're just going to meow wow him again.
Somebody else with all the light force.
Alright, do something. Put the fire on.
Okay, impromptu blaster blazer, apparently.
Oh?
Wasn't trying for blaster blazer, but okay. Now we'll get meow wow. Well, it wasn't trying for the impromptu blaster blazer, it just kind of happened.
It worked out, I guess. It looked fine.
It happened. I mean, I didn't waste any shot lock, and my magic is full, so I don't have to use a tent, which I normally would have to use a tent right there. Now, this next fight is a little bit fun. It's like the several other fights we've had. Shot lock and the meow wow. What? I'm missing just the tiniest bit of magic, which caused me to have to heal.
Oh no, yeah, you were missing like 1 MP.
Now, normally we try to have the Mirage Staff. Which I'm going to go ahead and get right here.
The door vault's right through there.
Slow motion, why you no like me? Now, the reason we want Mirage Staff is because in this next fight, our physical attacks and even our magic attacks don't hardly do anything to this enemy.
According to
So, we're gonna
Wikipedia,
have
Kingdom
to
Hearts 3
use Mirage Staff in a way that... Well, you'll see.
Yeah, this is one of the few times that we actually get to use Mirage Staff in this way, in the run. Even though we're using Ever After basically the entire time, so it's cool. So basically, by dodging in combat, we create these clones that get left behind, and these clones will shoot with you as you attack. And by doing Ever After combos in the air, we can dodge out of them as well, and just keep the clones out, and we can just pelt Lump over and over again with these projectiles. And as Sage had mentioned, Lump of Horror is very resistant to things like physical combos and our magic. By using these clones and these projectiles,
According to
especially when Mike
Wikipedia,
is cheering us on and
Montopolis
boosting
is a
our
neighborhood
damage,
in Austin,
we're able
Texas.
to do damage that bypasses his resistances pretty well.
And now here we're going to get to see the last of Ralph. At least I hope.
According to IG,
And Ralph does damage. It's setting it up just right in order to get the single shot kills. Like, that was what was supposed to happen to Grim Guardianess back in Corona. TTS. So we're gonna go to this next waypoint, and then we're gonna head ourselves into Arendelle. I have no idea.
Oh, that's weird.
Text to speech?
Yeah, no, that's my fault. I was setting up a new poll, and I was going into Google, and the Google text to speech, I guess, was going, and I didn't know it because I have I have my desktop audio muted for myself, so I can't hear it.
Ah, okay, okay.
I apologize for that. My bad.
So next we find ourselves in Arendelle, aka Frozen. And you can tell Disney had a hard hand in this world.
Do you think the Heartless are after her?
Again, I like to use a lot of Blizzard movement. We used to air step to one of the Heartless that has the umbrellas. But Blizzard movement makes things a lot faster. And this is actually one of the newer pieces of movement I had to learn.
It hurts me using an ether for that little smidge of MP.
Well, sometimes you really don't have a choice. Because I have to have the full MP to summon. Now this is going to be our first instance of Simba in this run.
Yeah, so we got Simba back in Monstropolis in that pipe fight before we fought one before. He's just a big flaming lion, and as you could probably imagine, a big flaming lion is going to be good in an enemy in a world full of ice enemies. So Sage is going to be doing a mix of roars and jumps to kill these deer and also damage the troll. And then we were able to do this big King's Flare finisher that does big fire damage to everything in an AoE.
And then after using its finisher, we're able to just shot block it and finish it. Oh, thanks, IBA. Appreciate it. Oh, hey, now we get to use another 10.
Yeah, we'll freeze if we don't find a way out.
Now we're going to be moving through this ice labyrinth. Now what they don't tell you is you can hit these and pick up some money, or you'll end up picking up an item. But any way you go, it's good news for you, because more ethers is always good. And now we're getting into more nobody fights. We're going to go ahead and summon Simba because his King's Flare finisher normally kills everything. yet somehow didn't kill 2 enemies in the first
Oh,
round.
that's unlucky.
So backup strat is we shot lock to finish them off.
Yeah, so these enemies are Larkseens nobodies, and they can move around and get out of the range of Simba, and they also have a move that gives them iframes as well that they can potentially do. And it's just bad luck if they don't get caught by the Simba finisher.
Normally I lock on to one of the Heartless down there. We are 1 for 2 in the labyrinth right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the save point, get my focus back, go over, spin on one of these pillars. It's so we can open up a pathway to our next area. Which actually has us air stepping up like we did way back in Olympus. And basically in each of these rooms we fight a group of Larkseens nobodies. So we end up using Simba to basically just try and beat all of them in one shot. Which if we do, restores our magic fully. And we are 3 out of 4, which isn't bad.
That's not bad at all.
I've done way worse. Now, normally I would pick up the Damascus here.
This must be the exit.
Because I do get scared. And you know what? Just because I get scared, I'm picking it up anyway. But basically, I'm not supposed to be picking that Damascus up anymore. I do a lot of flow motion movement through a lot of this.
We can do it. Come on.
Now pick up this elixir because it comes in handy later. Now just before we get to the top of the mountain here, I believe I have one more minion I have to do. And I'm going to change out Mage's Earring back for the Fire Cuff Link. Equip on another Ether. Go into Sora's abilities. And I'm going to equip my Air Combo Plus and Combo Master along with Leaf Bracer. Along with Groundbreaker and Rising Spiral. And did I put on that other Super Slide? Yes, I did. And Cuisine, I'm going to go ahead and eat one of the Fresh Fruit Compote. And I'm going to change Sora's Fires to Fyra's, because Fyra deals more damage. This next part's a lot of fun. And if there are any donations in this, we're about to do the slider minigame, donations can be read.
Nope. We got none right now.
Close 'em in. I got this.
Sorry, Fritz, it's copyrighted, so we can't exactly have it play.
True, yeah, definitely don't want to be copyrighted. Just to remind everyone, we are raising money for the USBG Foundation for COVID-19 response and relief. And every penny counts, so we would really appreciate if anybody would drop in donations. And thank you all to those who have dropped donations.
So this slider game, we're trying to avoid these lasers as much as possible, coming from these ice serpents. Ooh, just about got hit in the head there. I mean, it's not like Goofy hasn't been hit in the head before. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So this is one of the big pieces of downtime that we have. On beginner, we don't really have to worry about dying to these frost serpents at all, because they don't really hit too hard. Some runners use this as a bathroom break and just let their Kupo coin get popped as they go to the bathroom.
So
yeah, Sage, why don't you sing "Let It Go" yourself, huh?
Because my voice is horrible.
Aw.
Oh, come on, don't be like that.
Oh no, it's the truth. My voice is just bad.
Mine's no better.
Oh yeah!
Now what we're trying to do here is pick up as much money as possible that's laying on the ground. So, as much money as we can get. I'm not trying to miss those on purpose, it just kind of happens. Because we do need to buy more ethers. Last time I checked, we're down to our last, like, 11. Which is not a good thing.
All right.
I still use the old route to pick up money. I'm not sure about Swift. I think he uses a new route to pick it up.
Ace Lord said, if Swiftshadow sings "Let It Go" after the run, he'll donate.
I'll sing it, why not?
Alright, Ace. We're gonna hold you to that. So, the reason we re-equip the Fire Cufflink is because we want Firaza in this world.
So these frost serpents actually have multiple parts of their body. There's a head, wings, and tail, but we only have to kill the head in order to kill the frost serpents, and they go down pretty quickly to Fires and Firaza.
And they like to bully you, too, with those wind typhoons.
Yep.
Now, our next menu doesn't come up until after this next part. So if anyone has anything to say... Oh, yeah, that's right. There's the meme of Gloveless.
What is Gloveless? Yes, explain.
It's when you get Anna without her gloves being on screen and you're able to pause and skip.
Oh.
It's kind of like Bonkless.
Oh, that's interesting. Also, we ran that poll and it's finished now. We got stands for Sokio. Oh yeah. What is your favorite world in your favorite new world in KH3? So not OC because we've seen that in other Kingdom Hearts games. So stands for Tokyo got 3 votes. Kingdom of Corona 2, Monstropolis 1, Toy Box 1, and Arendelle 0.
Ooh, people really don't like this world. And I can't blame them because it has one of the most... You'll all see here in a moment why I absolutely hate Arendelle. Oh, that is some garbage. So normally King's Flare's finisher is supposed to take out all those ice deer heartless. I don't know what else to call them there.
Yeah, having 2 survive was pretty unlucky. That's rough.
So right there we get double flight and air slide. And we also get another thing here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put magic ring on it. Because you know what the girls say, if you like it, put a ring on it. No? Nobody? Just me and my bad pun?
Maybe.
Me too. We better skedaddle.
So as Sage mentioned in the menu, we got some new movement abilities, double flight and a second level to our air slide, which lets our air slide take us a little bit further forward. And that helps quite a bit with traversing the mountain here. We're able to skip some portions of it by doing super jumps off the walls. This movement section's pretty interesting.
Just keep moving. You'll warm up.
Gee, nothing ever gets you down, huh, Sora?
See, we have fans that likes your puns in chat.
Somehow I'm managing to actually pull off the
I love snow.
chained air slides.
We're back. Finally.
Yeah, I wonder if Anna and the others made it there yet.
Oh, I always have a bad pun, Richie. Now we get to fight Marshmallow. Now Marshmallow is an interesting fight because he's mainly just a bunch of snow.
So like other bosses that we've seen, those Frost Serpents, fire does a good amount of damage to Marshmallow. We still have that fire cufflink and the fire boost on, so we're getting that extra fire damage, and our magic is incredibly high as well.
That big snowman wasn't too friendly, huh?
Oh, you guys just launched him. Or you just launched him, I mean.
Well, that's the thing, is we try not to launch him like that, but at the same time, it's funny to watch him fall. With as big as he is.
That really is. Marshmallow can fly.
Now what I just did is I went and got the force ring The Force Ring, when I have full MP, does a full MP blast, which means any magic that I do with the Force Ring equipped... I think Swift can explain it better, because I keep forgetting.
Oh, for Force Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Force Ring, it's a 4 magic accessory, which is good in and of itself, but it also has full MP blast on it. So when we do magic, as we have a full MP bar, we get additional damage on that magic cast. So every time that Sage is at full MP now, for the rest of the run, when we have that Force Ring on, he's going to be doing extra damage with his first spell cast.
Isn't that a newer route?
I'm actually taking the newer route.
Yeah, because I thought...
Yeah, we get the one Force Ring here, which we used to do as well, but then we're going to pick up an extra one in the next world. So then we're going to have 2 of them, and that gives us double the full MP blast, so then we get even more damage.
No, see,
I believe... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just doing something. So I'm going to do one more menu real quick. I'm going to replace the magic ring with Force Ring. I'm also going to replace one of my ethers with that elixir, because that elixir will restore my magic and my focus gauge. And I need to check cuisine. We got plenty of time with cuisine. But go ahead.
I think I mentioned Logic was talking about it when he was doing his KH3 runs, how I think he mentioned something about the Force Ring being newer or something. Or
Yep.
a newer route.
Yeah, he routed in what we used to run for late game and end game was we would run a Force Ring, the Celestiad, and a Sorcerer's Ring. Logic swapped out the Sorcerer's Ring that we used to run for a different Force Ring. And that gives us double full MP blast, which makes us deal more damage from Caribbean onward compared to the old route, which is pretty substantial.
Ah, nice.
Now here I'm gonna... What y'all saw me just do was I summoned Simba and used him to get through that pretty quick. Simba actually makes that part a lot easier. And on PS5, there's a little glitch with it where Simba will stutter right there, and then when the wind blows, it does knock him back down. So I have to roar to get out of that stutter glitch. Okay. Here's to hoping. Oh no. So we try to skip Skull's DM skip, or DM. The DM skip that I attempted is very difficult to pull off.
Yes.
So I'm going to switch up, because if I kill enough of these guys with some magic, as long as I get it to before it hits 20 seconds, it's about the same amount of time. And this makes it to where Skull doesn't get damage on me easily. No, he's gonna DM again.
Oh, did he? Oh no.
That's fine. It's not a big deal. I can handle it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to waste another ether here, which is my last ether. since it is now under 20 seconds, I cannot bring myself to use Sub-Zero Impact again because it will take too long.
Yeah, going through the whole Sub-Zero animation ends up taking longer than just taking the hit at the end if you get it late.
Oh Lord, Ace. No, don't ask JV. It took ever for JV to get through this fight on pro codes. So now we're going to be skipping some cutscenes. And if anyone has anything to say, go ahead.
Nope, we got no donations yet.
Hey, Sora, check out more worlds to visit.
So next we're going to be heading to the Caribbean.
Pirate time! Yay!
Pirate time, 500 crab time, my least favorite strategy.
Really? Oh!
Unfortunate. Now, I know that logic says don't take this, that you're going to hit the Heartless ship that's over here. I say screw that. I'm going to take it anyway, and I'm going to veer off to the left so I can go ahead and get there. Why do I keep doing that? Why is my input not registering? I'm joking. The 500 crab route isn't that bad unless the crabs escape from the fort. No, Jordan, no. That's not supposed to be in there.
Yeah, I made a mistake in not removing those emotes for the charity event. It's funny though, like
shooting at us. Ceasefire! Ceasefire! Here comes some more. Get away, you barnacles!
So this is one of the newer strats that Logic came up with.
Said you could use my ship.
If I can pull it off. We no longer have to use Thundara on these guys. We end up using 3 fires into a full shot lock, which ends up just being way better than the old strat. Oh no, now for my least favorite fight in this game. Also, I like to think this saves frames, even though it doesn't.
There's Heartless on those ships.
Probably one of the quicker ship fights I've had. So we're coming up into Raging Vulture. Raging Vulture is not friendly. I mean, he can be. Fritz, no. But he has chosen to run away.
Alright, so we're coming up to one of the most annoying parts of this world, which is Vulture. we are riding a flying Heartless that can shoot and shoot torpedoes as well. The torpedoes actually count as fire damage, so the fire cufflink and the fire boost that we have on Sora are boosting the torpedo damage, which makes it our main source of doing damage in this fight. Unfortunately, the game doesn't give us a good targeting system here, and if you cursor over one of the other flying enemies at a wrong time, it'll just steal your torpedoes away from you. And Vulture likes to run away a lot, which makes it a lot harder to get your torpedoes to connect on him.
And he is running away indefinitely right now. I mean, he's been pretty relaxed so far. Though the other flying Heartless have not been. And if he gets too far away, the torpedoes do despawn. So that's why y'all are seeing me dash forward like that. And it's just safer to shoot him at this point. He can either be very aggressive, run away, or chill. He was pretty chill throughout that, but then he started running away and getting aggressive. Now, all that stuff we picked up, I'm gonna sell. Including the high refocuser. Gonna go ahead and sell those 3 potions. I'm even gonna sell all of the ingredients, even though I don't have to. Because we're gonna pick up our second 4-string here. And then we're gonna buy ethers. Oh, right, I already got that. Then we're gonna go ahead and equip that other 4-string over the rune ring. And we're gonna re-equip an ether. And I believe I need to go ahead and... Yep, super slide and air slide. And Gratin Magic Extender.
So as we were mentioning earlier, having this second force ring, that full MP blast that we get from having those two do stack together. So every time that we are doing a magic cast when we're at full MP, we're going to be doing a lot of damage. And it makes a huge impact as we go on through the rest of the run. Also, we're underwater now. We get to swim, and there's underwater combat. This is probably the best underwater combat that KH has had as well.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
If I can stop getting stuck on rocks. Now, what we're coming up to is... What's the name of this boss again?
Lightning Angler.
The Lightning Angler. So I'm just going to be shooting a lot of fires into it. And you'll see me refill my magic periodically so I don't run out. And it also refills it to where we get that double 4-string damage. And now that we've defeated it, we can go ahead and come down and get that chest it was trying to tease us with. which is actually one of the better summons in the game. It's Ariel! Wait, what?
This is also the only Link that you can miss in the entire game. You can just skip this chest entirely.
Wait, what's an Ariel? What's Atlantica? So before we continue on, while we're at the boat, we're gonna go and pick up the Celestroid. Celestiad. And we're gonna go ahead and equip that to Sora over the Fire Cufflink. And then we're also gonna change our Thunders into Thundagas.
To explore.
So the Celestiad we just picked up, it has a Fire Boost, Blizzard Boost, and Thunder Boost on it. So by swapping out the Fire Cufflink, we're losing access to Firaza, which doesn't really matter at this point. We're getting Firaga as a Grand Magic anyways, so it doesn't make much of a difference. And it gives us that Thunder Boost, which is really good now that we have Thundaga as well.
Take this! Cannons!
And I'm gonna go ahead and kill off 2 of these ships before I get into the next part. Because this next part is a race.
Take this!
First one to Port Royal wins.
And I say we make it
Full
interesting.
speed!
Now, we're trying to hit every orb we can on Luxord's ship.
Fire, Sora.
So we can go ahead and get another Tailwind out
Full speed!
without having to deal with a lot of stuff. And it puts us so far ahead of him that it's basically he has to play catch up now to catch up to us.
Go!
At this point, oh, the RNG on these ship spawns.
Look alive, Sora. Can't you get any more speed out of her?
Go!
That's it. Don't let up now.
Go, go, go!
The RNG on those ship spawns were nice.
Take
Yeah.
this! Full
It's good to
speed!
get as many ships as we can here, because as we kill those ships, as we hit those orbs, we're building up the bar, which is getting us Tailwind right, and then they're also giving us extra experience as well. So the more ships that we can kill, the faster we can get through the race, and it also gives us some extra XP, which is nice.
Now, the reason I almost filled up my gauge is we're getting ready to go into this next part, which is by far one of the worst ship fights I've ever been in.
Get him!
Oh, it's right on your rear, isn't it? Now I'm waiting for Luxord to respawn, and he's running away. No, don't run away, Luxord. Let me tidal wave you,
Fire!
as I'm about to do now. So the reason we took out as many ships as we could and we're tidal waving, this will damage his sails, and then we're gonna Wind Chaser. And what Wind Chaser does is it deals a little bit of extra damage, so we're not having to worry too much about
Hear my call!
having... He has a darkness aura that comes off of the ship that pushes you back away from him if you do not do this quickly.
Prepare to board.
Okay, Thundaga did not kill.
Oh, whoa.
That is odd. Maybe my magic wasn't full?
I think you got the customized bug.
The customized bug?
Yeah.
Back off! Back off! Yeah! Back off!
Yeah, because that don't look like Thundaga. That actually kind of looks like Thundara.
Yeah, that was odd.
But then again, Thundaza hit like it was supposed to, so... And now that we're done with that, we're going to be going into our 500 crabs. Or maybe that's what happened. Cuisine ran out.
Oh, that'll do it, yep.
Okay, let me go to it. Okay, there we go.
Back off!
Now what we're doing here is we're trying to pick up 500 crabs. That way when we come back to this world, it's less likely that we will be very far behind.
I see something on the roof.
Yeah, so the game requires you to get 300 crabs here. By getting 500, it'll just warp you to the ship and make you leave, so that you can't collect more than that. But by getting 500 total, we end up getting ship level 3 instead of ship level 1, which gives us some extra cannons so we're dealing more damage, and then it also gives us access to the surge ability, which is like a dash that we can do with the ship, and that'll speed us up throughout Caribbean Sea.
Then I don't like to leave these crabs sitting.
Nice. Ready? Here goes. Oh.
I venture that's nearly enough.
It also makes the next part of this world a lot easier. How did I even get up there? I'd really like to know.
I bet you there's a lucky emblem here.
Didn't even make it into the fort with it because I somehow ended up above it.
Yeah, I don't know how you ended up on that ledge. That was odd.
That was... Okay, fine. I'll do it like this.
Yeah, you have all the crabs that you needed anyways, so... It's all good.
So, I messed up in this part one time, and only walked out with like 300.
Ready? Here goes. Oh.
470, that's not bad.
Back off.
And now it's going to force me to move on to the next part because it does not want us, as Swift said, collecting more than 500 crabs. Before I leave, I'm going to go ahead and eat this last fresh fruit compote. I know what I forgot to buy. But I'll worry about that in a little bit. I'll worry about that once we get to this next world. So now we're heading to San Francisco. It looks like
So just like we did earlier, where we left Toy Box early to go to Corona, it gave us more tools to come back and beat the boss. We're doing the same thing here, where we're going to get more magic, and we're also going to get Fyraga from San Fran, which will make it easier to beat Davy Jones.
And in this route, I'm picking up as much money as possible. So for this first part, mob fight, done.
Sora, go from car to car.
Nice. Back off. Yeah. Back off.
I hate when they do that.
Nice.
Had to do a third jump for safety. Normally we can kill him in 2 jumps.
So this is also the first time that we got to see Ariel, and she's incredibly powerful against large targets that don't really stagger, where you can get a bunch of these water hits to connect. And we'll be seeing her quite a bit throughout the rest of the run. We'll see her again in this world, and we'll see her a little bit later on in the Keyblade Graveyard.
So what y'all saw me just do is, because I forgot to do it in Pirates, was buy 2 crepe Suzettes. And some more ethers. Because I'm a po' boy.
So those crepes, they're like the desserts that we've been eating throughout the rest of the run, except they give 2 magic instead of the 1 magic that the fresh fruit compote and the chocolate mousse gave us. So they're slightly better.
So, as I was saying, the rail back in Monstrop you can go faster on. The rail here in San Fran, on the side of the road, you cannot speed it up no matter how many times you hit square. So I'm just going to collect some of the rings. We stick to the right side because we like to cut corners. And it's shorter than sticking or switching over to the left side.
Come on, can we do this on the ground? Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Now here we're doing what's called Shugyo, and we're just gonna nope out of this. 111, that's probably one of the faster times I've gotten on the Shugyo.
Oh, nice.
Anything that's under 121 is faster. And we just got Stitch, but we don't see him just yet. Well, we shouldn't get to see him just yet. So, Espeon, I saw that. But yeah, no, this is actually one of the few runs that I really enjoy.
Run up the building if you have to. Watch out for those enemies on the building.
I can normally make it up there in one shot. I'm gonna take one step back before I start thundogging.
Back off! Thunder!
And yeah. So what we do up there is we Thundaga until we get Thundaza, and Thundaza normally kills everything.
Yeah!
Oh no. Well, I'm gonna have to back up into it. Really? The tree blocked it? That's fine. So again, aerial is good against big enemies that don't stagger very much. I'll just finish it with arrow from a distance instead of trying to shot luck up there to hit it. Because I'm tired of being done goofed.
The arrow's very nice.
As long as you have the magic for it, you can do it, but it's like... Not what I meant to do. I need to come back here because I need to pick this up. What the... Sora, what are you doing?
Right around there.
And now we go into this next part, and I summon Meow Wow immediately, and then just blow everything up. Because money gets dropped, and money is important for eaters.
Yeah, so this segment is timed where we basically just have to wait out these Dark Cube's attacks. And we can get a bunch of money from all of these different street lamps and the vending machine, so there's no reason not to. We can also pick up the Storm Fan here, which is an item that we can sell for 400 money later on. And all of that money is basically just going to go towards ethers and food.
Basically. And now that I've blown everything up, I just have to wait for time to go, and it went. And now for this next part.
The dark cubes are going to be tricky to bust open. You'll have to assess everyone's situation and improvise.
So we're coming into the Big Hero 6 rescue. It's the... we have to rescue a bunch of the members of Big Hero 6. The route for it's pretty interesting. So we can start with Wasabi, who's on the roof. We have to do a diving attack down on top of him to hit him. And then we can go to Honey Lemon, who has these different blobs that we have to destroy with corresponding magic. So fire on the red ones, thunder on the yellow ones, and then water or blizzard on the blue ones. And then after we free her, we get to go over to Fred, who is trapped between these poles. And we can break through those by spinning on the poles using our flow motion. And then we end with Go-Go, who we have to break out with a ball. And on the Honey Lemon as well, so you're just picking up a magic boost there that's in a chest, which we can use before we go into Dark Cubes, along with the magic boost that we picked up before.
Fred, you okay? I'm getting called into duty.
I'm not good at aiming that.
So, please climb off.
So if you're quick enough, you can actually beat the Dark Cubes here to get Go-Go. But since not, I'm going to pick up a little extra XP. Since I wasn't able to, so... Since I know where it's going, I've found the path of this thing like 500 times.
Go-Go! Are you in there? Doesn't look like you're hurt, Go-Go.
Then I'm going to go ahead and use those 2 magic boosts. And since we already got it, I'm going to go ahead and equip Firaga. And it's mainly because this next fight is actually super painful if you don't have the right amount, if you don't know the strat for it. So we're going to open up by shooting it with a bunch of Firagas. Then we're going to hit it with some more Firagas. And then hit it with Firaza. And then we're going to go into shot locks.
Yeah, as Sage mentioned, this fight is pretty bad if you don't get him before he starts doing attacks. Because he has attacks where he goes invulnerable and he like runs out of the map and it kind of sucks.
Of course, there is a glitch right there. If you can get into this fight before it loads up and you're right there, there's a glitch where you can move around. You can even summon stuff, shoot magic, and all that. I found out about it not too long ago, so don't quote me on it.
Okay.
Now we're going into Dark Baymax. Dark Baymax is actually a pretty interesting fight, because it's not your typical, oh, we're one-on-one bossing it. No, it starts as an auto-scroller. And then it goes into the typical fight, but you can't typically fight him. Oh, hey, I actually got some damage on him before the screen turned on.
Nice.
So there's this little known thing amongst the speedrunners of this game, is that you can, if you can hold R2 while the screen's black.
You have been injured. That was close.
I have to hit X on those. I don't know what I was thinking. But you can hold down R2 and it will practically damage him while he's not on screen. And not many people, I used to not think about using it, but I realized, you know, more damage equals less time I have to spend with Dark Baymax.
Exactly. Every little bit helps.
Like this right here, by the time we get here, we're supposed to already be into the next phase. So this is the second phase of this fight, where Dark Baymax is just gonna come at us, eventually. We're gonna be blasting him like we have been with magic so far. Now, he's getting ready to rush us with this. Now that he's done that, I can no longer be staggered. And what I want to do is I want to wait until he gets into this one phase. Never mind. Kupo coin for the rescue. This was the phase I was talking about that I wanted to get him into, but it's fine. Worst case scenario, I have to rebuy a Kupo.
Mm-hmm. And we definitely have the money to do so. So it's not a big issue.
I'm not
That's
sure
one of the
if
good
I
things
do.
about having the Kupo coin. Gives you that extra safety layer.
And this gives us the Nano Gear, which we only use once. And now we're going into a bunch of cutscene skips. Any donations?
Nope, we got none, but that poll did finish. We got 7 Duck or Doggo. We got 7 votes for Donald and only 3 for Goofy.
Oh, poor Goofy. Goofy does more than Donald, though. At least in other games.
I mean, true, I guess.
Donald actually does become a heal bot in this game. If we set him to it. I don't set him to it. Now we're going... Okay, no, land.
I do the same thing all the time.
Hit triangle instead of X?
Yep. So we're returning to Caribbean now. There's a few things that we have to clean up. Again, we left so that we could get that higher magic stat. We get Magic Galvanizer as well, which is a pretty good ability that's going to increase our magic damage as we are going further into a combo. So the further into a combo we are, we're just ramping up our damage. And it applies to our situation commands, our grand magic as well, which is pretty useful. We also got Firaga, which is going to help with Davy Jones, especially. Helps with getting the DM skip there, since we're able to dish out some more damage.
I'm not good at the Davy Jones DM skip. If you want better DM skips, go to Swift. I may be top 24. That doesn't mean I get the DM skips all the time.
The DM skips are hard.
Oh,
Skull and Davy are rough.
Oh, Skull. Like, I was practicing that before that. Yo, Crazy Kazi with a party of 7. Oh, whoops. I gotta do something here. There we go. Now, what I did there was to mainly build up that little blue gauge above the controls on the left side of this. And it's so in the next fight, I can go in and get Raging Cannons a little bit sooner than what we actually need it. Hopefully. So what level 3 gave us for the ship is Surge. Surge actually helps us move a lot faster in this world.
Yeah, even though we have to take that extra time to get those extra 200 crabs, getting the extra cannons so we deal more damage to Kraken, and then also having Surge for movement ends up saving more time overall, which is pretty cool.
And now I gotta find a way to get Raging Cannons. That one is traveling extremely far away, and I don't like it. There we go. Oh no. Just get out of the way. Oh no. I thought I was on tidal wave still.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh, I Wind Chaser.
We got him now.
Whatever. So, I was supposed to save Raging Cannons for this part. I'm one of the few people who actually... Okay, I'm gonna just... Yeah. Y'all wanna come at me? Come at me, bro. So I'm gonna start firing on these red orbs.
So this boss ship, as you can see, it has quite a big health bar, but it also dies once all of those orbs are destroyed, so it's a lot faster to just take out the orbs than actually deplete the full health bar.
Oh boy. I messed up. That happens. There we go. Wasn't too bad. I was able to make somewhat of a comeback off it. It's literally just at that point, it's touch and go.
Mm-hmm.
So now, instead of stopping at this island to buy another Kupo coin or anything, I'm just going to go ahead and head into Davy Jones. Because I've been in the Pirates world too long already. Now, instead of attacking him right off the bat, I'm going to turn around here and shoot that. Then I'm going to start firing on the Kraken. So, the Dutchman has a red orb on it, which helps increase our blue gauge a bit. And once that blue gauge is full, we'll have Raging Cannons. And now that we have Raging Cannons, I'm going to go ahead and fire into this guy. The tentacles don't really matter all that much, unless they're blocking like that. And then Davy Jones can bite me. Because I just destroyed his ship in one shot at that distance, which normally isn't worth it. And this fight is literally just auto-scroll around until you get Raging Cannons, in my opinion.
Pretty much.
What? No, 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 no. Okay, somehow it flew through Davy Jones' ship to hit the Kraken. So normally it's bad when that happens because Davy Jones can block a lot of the damage from Raging Cannons. So instead of hitting him right here, I'm going to say no. So he just avoided all damage right there. Oh my lord. What's he doing? He's playing... So this is what we were trying to just skip. Thanks, you that.
Yeah, he went all over the place at the start. Oh my goodness.
He was playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm tired of him, so I'm just gonna do this. No, that was supposed to hold him. Daddy wasn't there, folks. Where are you? There you are. Before he can go up and do this crap again, he's dead. It wasn't a bad Davy Jones, it's just that Davy has a tendency to... What's the word? I know it's something I probably can't say on stream right now. This is a charity event.
Yeah, the opening he gave you, he was all over the place. That was crazy.
That was insane. Like, he is just playing whack-a-mole with me. And I just couldn't get a hit in. Alright, so for this next part, we're actually going into a third demon tower. Which, funnily enough, leads into Anti-Aqua. So instead of doing a Thundaga this time, I'm going to use... So with Dark Firaga, it just eats this...
Take this. Gotcha. Bye. Gotcha.
Ow. Let me heal. Oh no. So, Anti-Aqua. Oh no, not what I meant to do.
Oh.
Once we get its health down to a certain point, we summon Sora. Now this next part's gonna take some finesse. Where are you? Well, impromptu pirate ship, but that's fine. And I said ship.
It was for style.
Gotta get those style points. If that first Firaga would have hit her, it would have done a lot more damage.
Yeah.
And that's what I was afraid of is... And then the Firaza, if that would have hit her, I mean, that'd have been a lot faster too. Data Zemnis, I'm gonna have to ask you to refrain from cheering. If you want to give to the charity, that's fine, but this is for charity.
Oh yeah, Data Zimnus, thanks for the bits, I appreciate it, but for the charity event, I'd rather have the money go towards the charity. If you want to give bits after the event, that's fine, to support me, but for the event, I just kind of want all the money going towards the charity rather than to me. But once again, I appreciate it, though.
So I'm going to open this fight up with some shot lock, because shot lock invincibility is amazing in this game. Oh, you're going to do that? I'll do this.
Vanitas can be quite a bit of a troll in this fight. He can go underground, which is the really bad thing that he is capable of doing, because it just wastes time.
Give it up. Give it up. Destroy.
So Spellweaver in this is actually pretty OP, because you can shoot someone.
You wish. Give it up.
And not a bad Vanitas fight. I normally would do 2 shot locks into the Firaga combos, but
I bet Spellweaver it isn't as OP in this version that it is in DBS.
well, if you see what I do, it's practically me just punching Vanitas' head off.
BBS Spellweaver finish on level 1 is ridiculous.
It is, and so is Peter Pan's D-Link. It's OP. Holy crap!
Baskets.
Yeah, crap baskets. I had to stop myself.
So we're now into a bunch of cutscenes before we get to the Keyblade Graveyard.
We're getting close to the end. We're done with all the Disney worlds now. We just have the original KH worlds that we're going through.
Yep. Needed some agua. So I
Ooh,
took a
stay
drink.
hydrated.
So the part we were talking about is coming up. We could do the whole gummy skip here, but unfortunately, if we do, the doors don't open and we don't get to get into the final world and we have to start over. Well, into the Keyblade Graveyard.
So we talked about Endymion being a really good ship in terms of speed earlier, but it's also a really good ship in terms of power. And with Gummy Skip being a thing now, we only ever get to see that on this boss that we're coming up to in this Gummy ship. But the cannons that Endymion has, along with the shot that gets fired when it's boosting, it lets you put out quite a bit of damage pretty quickly.
And if I remember right, I heard that it shoots off an extra shot whenever you barrel roll.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is we're trying to get to the front of the face, because that's where this takes the most damage. Done with the top. So what I'm doing is I'm boosting for an extra shot. Well, I say that and I still miss one. There we go. Fruits don't remind me of Falco. So we're coming up to the 10K battle. So there's like, it's supposed to be quote unquote 10,000 Heartless, but it's a mixture of the nobodies and the unversed and the Heartless. So I'm going to open up with Thundaga. And then hit Thundaga. Refill and immediately Meow Out. This is the last time we'll ever see Meow Out. So Deflate Dash is really, really good because it takes out a lot of these just generated Heartless.
Yeah, so all these fake shadows that don't really have any health and that die to one hit of anything, they still count towards the enemy bar that we need to be depleting.
Okay. Show off time. Pirate ship. Before Meow Wowing again. So Meow Wow can take out a lot of enemies really quickly. And that's actually what we're hoping for here.
And so these enemies will infinitely spawn until we get the mountain coaster attraction, and then we have to end the fight with that finisher to actually finish the fight. There's no other way that you can end it.
Oh no. I thought it went up to the... So with this, a lot of people just have a tendency to aim towards the middle. I hit X, I don't aim just towards the middle, I start spreading it out because it makes it go a lot faster, and just like that. That was an okay 2K or 10K, but I feel like it could have been better. But that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to go into my abilities. Go ahead and equip Glide and Withstand combo. Look at my cuisine, that's perfectly fine for right now. Oh, I have 6 ethers.
Somebody else has gone on ahead.
I don't know. Okay, I got about 3K money. Which should almost be enough to get me what I need to get. So, just in case, I'll pick up that Cosmic Belt to sell. Because we'll sell that Cosmic Belt eventually. On top of everything else that we're not using. Since that one Crepe Suzette's out, I can use the last one, and then the berries. I think I only need one berry. So we're in Final World, where we're going to start collecting pieces of ourselves, because we died and we want to live.
I have to put myself back together.
Oh no! You can't kill Disney kids! Sorry.
Are you saying sorry? That was fantastic.
It was very good.
So, we're going to start collecting ourselves. I'm going to go this way first. I'm going to try and hit these guys first. And then I'll hit this little, I guess you could say, fire circle of Soras.
There's no time to waste.
And I like to hit a lot of stuff before I go and get to get certain things. So I'll hit about 29 here, and then I'll head over here. Pick these guys up. Normally like to hit about 50 before I'm done. And we'll come over here and hit this.
Whoa! What's going on?
I forget who routed this, but I know they did a great job with it. Oh no, that was one Sora I actually need. Then I'm gonna come up here. Oh no. Get back up here. Then we're gonna come up here. Because there's always a bunch of Soras up here. Just running around, having a good time. Y'all remember the dance minigame? This is what you face after the dance minigame. Then we'll come down here. Don't have to worry about those guys now. And we are on our way. So I think there's one more menu I have to do. Then again, I say that I menu a lot more than the top runners do. Speaking of Swift, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. This has been fun. It's been a good run so far.
It's been touch and go.
That's how it is with a marathon. Nothing can ever go perfectly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, so y'all remember that little recap in Cage 1 where it takes you back through the different worlds? Welcome to that. Only on a different scale, I guess you could say?
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to explain it to him.
Yeah, so we are going back through. Basically, we have to dive through all these different worlds to find our friends. And as we're doing that, we're going to be fighting these lich bosses. And before we do that, Sage is going to take a shop here. just to finish off everything that he needs, buying ethers, buying the food that we're going to need for the rest of the run. And then we're going to be doing something called EXP Glitch, which is going to rapidly level us up to where we need to be for endgame.
Don't mind me, I'm just doing stuff to be able to afford more ethers. Because I was only able to buy 29, where I'm not very good with my ethers. I actually end up having to do something like this, where I have to menu and synthesize a lot of stuff in order to get the money I need to get said ethers. So I end up buying stuff to sell, if that makes sense. Oh, I can get another Technician's Ring and another Ability Ring. I can also get the Divine Bandana and the Wind Fan. And now I have a lot to sell. And I'm going to sell that Strength Boost. And probably going to go ahead and sell one of the crepes. And now I should have just enough to push me over 40, which is what I actually need. And now I've got Shooting Star, but I need to switch Kingdom Key to Nano Gear, put on Hero's Glove, and equip that last Ether. And we're going to switch over to the Shooting Star. I need to... Oh. That's right. I also need to change Arrow to Aurora. Aurora.
Yep, there's a lot of menuing that needs to get done.
There was a lot of stuff I needed to do. So now that I know I have 41 ethers, I'm set.
Back off! Back off! Back off! Nice.
I'm going to throw an ether, do one more Thundaza, then I'm going to start with Aurora. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to immediately hit Aurora, and I don't think that was enough.
Oh no, I'm on delay, so I can't see it yet.
It's fine.
Forget the small frog. We gotta go after the one in charge. Nice. Back off. Back off. Back off. Storm.
Actually, that looks like enough to me.
Okay, there we go.
We gotta keep going.
So basically what Sage was doing here is by doing Thundaza and Eroga there, and going into Shot Walk, it slows the game down, and waves will basically just spawn in and die. They get sucked in by the Eroga, they die to the Thundaza over and over again. And we end up getting a ton of levels from it. And that gives us the extra magic that we need to do endgame well. It gives us a Thunder Boost, which we're going to be equipping as well. A lot of good stuff.
Which we don't get to equip, actually, until after we beat the Lich twice. Lich, you're not a nice thing.
I saw where you're going there.
Back off. Back off.
Say what?
I said I saw where you were going there.
So now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and go into my menu. I'm going to add my Blocker Replenisher, an Arrow Boost, a Thunder Boost, Combo Plus, Air Combo Plus, and that's it.
Ew.
Oh no, I was censoring myself.
Also, for that poll for the favorite character in the Days trio, Xion, Roxas, and Axel. Xion got 5 votes, both Axel and Roxas only got 2.
Only 2?
Wow. You know,
Oh,
I like.
surprise, I thought-
You know what? I like that. It's out of the norm. So that's perfectly fine. I like that. For the very simple fact that too many people go, oh, well, Roxas is my favorite character.
Roxas is my favorite character. What does
Shion
that
is
mean?
the deepest character, though.
We ought to search every portal.
I mean,
Shadows
Roxas
can-
is
I
good.
voted. Yeah, I voted for Shion.
Alright,
but I
so-
don't get me wrong. I love Axel well, I do like Axel, but I like Roxas too. But Shion is just like Cage 3 boss Shion. Just like it's good.
It is good. I agree.
So what I just did there was, with the Lich, I had to use Thunders to keep him from spawning in enemies, because when he spawns in enemies in that last
search
one,
every portal the
Monstra,
shadows control.
he disappears, and you have to deal with the enemies before he'll reappear.
Yeah, he spawns in a bunch of large bodies and just disappears completely.
So here, I'm going to high jump, aerial spiral, shoot off a few fires, and then hit the Lich with the Nano Gear's full shot lock. Because it deals multiple hits, we're able to kill it faster. So this next part, a lot of people hate.
We ought to
I do
search every
too.
portal the shadows
And
control.
it's going to be in Corona. And in Corona, you can't really hardly stagger the Lich with Thunder at this point, but we don't care. I went ahead and switched back to Ever After, so I'm going to jump, air slide, and there we go.
Hey, stop!
So now we're going into the final area, which is going to be San Fran. Because with the Lich, San Fran is kind of a... what's the word? Pain. Or, well, it is in Corona, he's a pain. Because he just runs and runs away.
He
Now-
runs far, yeah.
I said I ran. And so, immediately I'm just going to shot block him. Because the Lich becomes pretty magic resistant. And then we'll finish it off with a Thundaga. A Thundaga. That word tastes funny in my mouth. So we got a few more cutscenes to skip before we get back into Keyblade Graveyard. And we're back in Keyblade Graveyard. So just to make sure that yep, I do. So I'm gonna glide and air step at the same time, or air step, so I can go ahead and get out here. And we're gonna immediately, as soon as we get in here, summon Ariel, because it is the last demon tower we have to actually face. I'm gonna immediately dive to the right.
Ariel just melts the health bar, it's crazy.
She melts it so much that literally I can just walk up as this ball comes out of the ground and hit it once and we're done. Now it's time for Union Cross. So my thumb's about to be very, very tired.
What is this?
Those Union Cross players really did get their due by making it into
Alright.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Let's go!
So basically this whole section, Sage is just gonna be hitting triangle. There is like a rhythm to this, it's not just like mashing the button in order to do it at the fastest possible speed. The section's very boring, and it also hurts your hands a lot.
You can
Hit
also
the-
hit
the lot of
L2 to make it go down to the bottom and clear out names even quicker. That's actually how I get through this so fast.
Oh.
At least the first part. And now my thumb is hurting and cramping. Oh. I get a brief instance of relief before we're inside of the giant heartless ball of death.
I actually attempted to get my name right there in the RCs, because those names on the side on the left are from a mission in Union Cross. And I actually attempted to try to get my name in KH3.
Hey, you almost did it.
Kinda. I mean, it was hard because I didn't pay. Well, I did pay a little bit when I was playing Union Cross a lot, but I didn't pay that much. And most of the top players probably spend a pretty penny on the game.
They spend a lot of money.
They do spend a lot of money. And now that we're out of triangles to hit, I have to dodge these, and then as soon as that last triangle comes up, I immediately tap it. Normally, if I had my splits here, that's where I would be splitting Union Cross. Actually, that's not a bad idea. What is the best summon in Kingdom Hearts 3 in everyone's opinion?
Meow Wow.
Oh, Meow Wow. Hands down. He's the best, but my favorite's Stitch because of what Stitch can do. So now we're getting into the boss rush section. And there's quite a bit of it. So, me no likey. I'm gonna go ahead and eat a berries. Wait, what? It ate the crepes instead. Okay, I'll just eat the crepes, and then I'll eat the berries. And make sure I've got everything on, yep.
Better get ready.
So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna say no to Mickey, and we're gonna come over here.
I guess I need to get through the door before it closes.
And we're gonna go ahead and take on... We're gonna help Riku. We're gonna help Riku first. Then we're just gonna make sure Ansem gets out of here, you know.
Back off! Back off! Nice! Back off! I'm unstoppable! Back off! Try! Back off! Thunder! But why?
And we're just gonna go ahead and kill that replica Riku with Thundagas.
Let's make it interesting! Thunder! This one!
And
So we'll be seeing a pretty consistent theme throughout Keyblade Graveyard, where these org members are going to be paired up. So we have Riku Zigbar here. There's going to be pairings and trios throughout the Keyblade Graveyard that we're going to be fighting.
And instead of wasting an ether here, I'm going to waste a 10. So starting this off, I'm going to focus mainly on Marluxia because he has the biggest health bar out of all of them.
Nice!
And I really want to eat that health bar down for him. Then we're going to focus on Larxene a little bit. He's right behind me, isn't he? So what I did there was a 4-move combo into a finisher.
It's time for you to go. What's the matter?
Yeah, so Luxord actually has incredibly high resistance, and because we have Magic Galvanizer and we're able to do that combo that Sage had talked about, we're able to break him down in one cycle instead of having to break his cards again.
And normally I don't worry about things like that, but it's Luxord and dude's cards in KH2 hated me.
So these panels in the floor are switches for the doors.
So we're just gonna be playing with some panels here. And then, just in case I need to, I'm gonna pick up that Mega Potion. Because I'm a big whiner baby. And because I know, like I said, I know how many ethers I go through. And then we're gonna go straight into Sagex. Now, Sagex and Xion. Sagex, you actually have to build his Berserk meter this time, instead of wait for it to end. So, dealing fire hits to him will actually build it a lot faster. I'll throw one more ether. And you know what?
The moon's pale light.
I'm gonna meme it a little bit. I like to be a goofball from time to time.
Get ready. Nice.
We haven't achieved our goal.
Shame on y'all for not voting Stitch. We're gonna use our last tent here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this Mega Ether to sell. And we're gonna go into the Terranort and Vanitas battle. Now I'm gonna focus mainly on Terranort with some triangle combos. Oh no, not what I wanted to. Okay, whatever.
Oh.
Dark times ahead.
One of the really nice things now that we've done the EXP glitch and we've gotten Thunder Boost as well, is while we're doing these Thunders, they're AoE, so they have a chance at hitting both Terra and Vanitas, which is really nice.
So we just took out Vanitas. So I'm gonna throw an ether here, and then I'm just gonna fire on it. In taking out Terranort last, I think that skips the secondary cutscene. It does.
Yep.
So there is a secondary cutscene there if you take out Vanitas last. Actually, yeah, I want to do that before I go up there. Because I'm a big baby. I want 31 ethers.
31? Oh my goodness.
Because I'm a big baby. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to try to spread out the damage a little bit. But unfortunately, our Thunder is so strong that hitting them once with it will force this to happen. Will force us into the battle completely. So, we have to face young Xehanort along with Xemnas along with Ansem. Now, we're going to try to spread the damage out as evenly as possible, and I'm going to go get in a corner and block.
Let's go.
Now, young Xehanort is very bad about targeting you specifically. Now, I just need to get a hold of Xemnas.
Stop him. Surrender to it.
Okay, not what I wanted, but okay. Oh, please tell me I got that second ether off in time.
Oh.
I did.
Oh, nice.
So now we're just gonna...
This is where my role.
We're gonna make sure these guys die in between. So now that that's done, we can move on to Master Xehanort himself. Actually, no, we can't.
We're getting close.
We're getting close.
It's almost over.
It is almost over. And that's the sad thing. But in the meantime, what is everybody's favorite summons? Summies. What are summies? I got 14 minutes left on those berries. You go ahead and go into customize. Aurora into Aroga. You're about to see one of my favorite strats in the game, guys.
Has to be somewhere in town.
This fight's so cool.
Okay, what? No. So, we're just kind of standing here right now. We're gonna go.
This Gala kind of music is pretty dope too.
Yeah.
I wanted to go ahead and use that Grand Magic. That way, he couldn't really do anything about it. So we're probably going to be done in the next maybe 10-12 minutes. Oh, I got the Arosa in there.
Ooh.
For the first skip. Can I get the second skip?
Let's get all three. So each of these armored Xehanorts can make fire pillars as their DM.
And
we were able to
I got
one.
the DM skip.
Hey!
On the second one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on the third one. Oh no. He just skipped straight into the DM. He did not even bother to come out and attack me. But that's fine. Not really missing out on much. Let me throw an ether, Xehanort. Jeez.
We're down to the last two fights now. It's just final Xehanort phase 1 and 2.
And we're actually going into my favorite strat here, which is Stitch, believe it or not. And that shot lock actually helped push him into that second phase.
It ends here and now.
Hey, Instaboy.
Yes. When is time? After the cutscene?
Time will be after the laser goes through Xehanort.
Oh, okay. I don't know if it was on the like the final hit with Stitch or yeah.
No, it's after we come back and beat Xehanort.
Also, that poll is done.
That's what I was calling you on, was the poll.
Who's your favorite Summon KH3? We got Ralph with 3 votes, Meowell with 2, Ariel with 2, Simba with 1, and Stitch with 0.
Aw. Alright, getting ready to call time.
Okay. I'll just see it on stream because the timer's delayed, so I can just see the visuals.
Give me just a second. I'll call time as soon as it's done.
Oh.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
GG.
GG's.
So we're about maybe 2-3 minutes behind my PB RTA.
That's really good for a marathon run.
That is pretty good.
And I gotta skip all these scenes because the RTA never matters. It's the IGT. The in-game time.
Well, real time, you got sub 330.
Oh, wow. I'm now consistently getting subs 330. So it's only about 2 minutes, roughly. About 1 minute and 50 seconds behind PB is what it is, exactly.
Fantastic.
Alright, now let's see what the battle report has to say. Because it's not over till IGT show. 3:09:28. That's actually roughly about 2 minutes slower than my IGT PB too.
That's great. Super underestimate as well. Really nice run.
Dude, good job, Sage.
Alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I wonder, should I save it?
So Ace, you gonna make Swift sing?
Oh god, I forgot. Oh no.
we definitely have the time. We have like what, 30 minutes?
Let me pull up.
You know what?
lyrics
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Swift, because I got you. Because guess what? We got Remind.
Oh?
So Remind's actually a bit of a quick run.
Play the cutscene though?
No, I'm not playing the cutscene though.
I mean, I could just cut it out, I guess.
So, since we are under time by more than 30 minutes, I will go ahead and do Remind.
How long is Remind?
For me, it's roughly about 28 minutes.
That is gonna...
That's actually gonna almost push us to the right time since I finished 30 minutes early.
Yeah, but there's 5 minutes in between so I can set up for the next event.
That is very true, so we won't do Remind.
Yeah. If Swift is willing to sing, though. Like, you have time to sing if Ace gives us the...
I can sing.
Ace, you have to donate before he sings.
I have to pull up lyrics, though. Let me do that.
Okay.
Or I can just go back in and play the cutscene.
Well, Ace, I mean, well, he can't sing along with the cutscene because the issue is delay. It would just sound really bad.
Well, I mean, I can turn the volume up on my TV so y'all can hear it in my mic.
But nah.
I can do it a cappella.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for Kingdom Hearts 3. And since we were...
I'll donate if he does it. So wait, so you want him to do it and then you donate?
So I'm gonna cut my camera speed.
It's up to you, Swift.
Because that way no one can see me anymore. Kidding. No reason for y'all not to see me.
No, I'll just switch it over to the intermission screen.
That's perfectly fine. But yeah, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that run. One of my faster times since I came back. And Swift and a few others actually know this. I took a 6-month break from running Cage 3 last year, until about, I want to say, October, November-ish. Then when I came back, things just started falling into place. What y'all witnessed was Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PlayStation 5. Well, some of you know. Y'all are in my...
Yeah, we don't get... I mean, a lot of people don't get the CPS.
They can hear us if I do that, right? On Discord. Alright, I hit the stop stream button now.
Okay, they should be able to hear us now.
Okay, cool.
Good, good. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's one of the few runs I actually get to do.
You guys can hear? Okay, fantastic. So we're just waiting to set up the next run with Jordan.
Swift, did you get those lyrics yet?
Yes.
I have them up now. Alright, we can do it.
Let's just kill a little time before the next event.
Alright, everybody ready?
Go for broke, Swift.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Ace Lord, you have to follow through.
Alright. The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like the swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. And the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I stay. Let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back, the past is in the past. Let it go, and I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, that perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Dude, nice.
All right.
Better than I do.
Yeah, way better than me, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Way better than me. Dude, encore. Clap, clap. I was clapping, but I don't know if it was coming into the microphone.
Thank you.
Everyone's clapping or saying encore.
Good
And you know
stuff.
what? Just because 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Not the one I want. 4, 5. Okay. It needs to stop doing that. Join the hype train.
Ace Lord with the $80. That was beautiful,
goodness.
Swift, as promised. I'll be honest, I didn't know you meant that much. Thanks,
Wow.
Ace. I really appreciate it.
Ace, thank you so much.
That's so generous.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up for the next run. So we will be back shortly.
See y'all in a bit, guys.
Candy cane, okay, go the freaks, got a high kick, Mr. Twister, moist with the roasting, stick it up, take it up, step aside, so that will affect, step back, take it out to the moon. Brainwave man, it's like you got a high kick, relax, select, show me your best, that crystal, blister, it's all over now, second cane, you suck, you need more candy cane. Okay, go the freaks, got a high kick, Mr. Twister, moist with the roasting, stick it up, take it up, step aside, so that will affect, step back, take it out to the moon. Back, step back, take it out to the moon, about to the moon, about to the moon, about to the moon. Morning rays, hair spin queens, get on to the way to the master west, the honest. They